Well, I've been reading some blogs and about some women specifically who are looking for a man. You know what I mean? I mean, there you are, you're over 35, probably 40 by now, and you still haven't found that man. Well, some of you, not all, but some of you have your expectations are a little bit too high. You want this man to be on a certain level. You want him to be doing certain things, making a certain amount of money, look a certain way. I mean, that's typical. But you know what? While you're sitting around waiting on that man, chances are he's not gonna show up. Because just like you waiting on him, there are probably 100 other women who are waiting on that same man. So what is it about you that makes you think that that man is going to choose you, or you're the one he's going to be with? You know what? He may be with you, but he'll be with several others at the same time. And I heard some woman on here say something about it takes a guy with a spiritual connection to God to keep him from messing around, because there's no woman that's going to keep a man from fooling around. She can follow him every day if she wants to, but that's not going to keep him from messing around if that's what he wants to do. And I mean, you got so many people now that's fooling around. I mean, but these people, it's been going on since time began. This is not anything that's new. It's just that you find out about it quicker because of the internet. And it's, we've got cell phones. We have a faster way of getting information. That's all that is. But as far as something being new, this is not new. You've had preachers fooling around, athletes fooling around, politicians fooling around, blue-collar workers fooling around, office workers fooling around. I mean, men and women. It makes you wonder. Maybe you should just move to Alaska and marry an Eskimo. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe South America and marry a pygmy. I mean, just how crazy the world has gotten. I mean, everybody's afraid to say certain things. You go to a church and they're afraid to talk about homosexuality or gays in the church because the repercussions. They're afraid. I'm asking this question: is there anything that God is afraid of? Absolutely not. So all this tiptoeing around on different subjects about race and everything else. I mean, stop all of this foolish. These people. That's why I'm saying it makes you wonder. Maybe you should just get you an island and live on it by yourself. Forget about all this craziness that's going on, especially here in America. I mean, and you got these so-called Tea Party. Where were these people when the country was going down the tubes? I mean, now we got a black president, and now everybody want to come out the woodwork with this party and that party, this group, that group. Where were you when we were going down? When the ship was sinking? Let me get off of that. I wanted to talk about women and trying to find a man. But anyway, the political stuff, it puzzles me. And now that we got a black president, it puzzles me. All these radio talk show hosts, and some of them on TV, CNN, and some of these other networks, and they're ridiculing the president, talking about this and why is it this, and he's spending all the money. Let me tell you something. The reason why this man is spending the money because those crooks, those white-collar crooks, stole it. Oh, don't think I don't know. Offshore accounts? Oh yeah, I know about them. And I can guarantee if the president went and found some of these offshore accounts, trust me, the country would be out of debt the next day. In 24 hours, we'd be out of debt. In fact, we'd have a surplus, just like it was when Clinton was in office. I guarantee you. I'm not talking about people that work 9 to 5, work on this job. They don't know anything about that. There's a whole new world, another world, I should say, not new world, but there's a whole another world outside of your 9 to 5 job, outside of your company. And a lot of these guys who's making these multi-million-dollar salaries, they know about it. Especially in the financial industry. Trust me, they know about it. But they're keeping the rest of those people in the dark. But anyway, back to my subject about women trying to find them a man, because you have to put yourself out there. I was watching this other TV show here with these housewives of Atlanta and whatever they are. But that lady who went and found her a man, she got him out of jail. You may have to think about that. Go wait in front of a president, get you a guy. Dress him up. Make him into what you wanted to make him into. Because as far as some of these guys who's working these professional jobs, MBA guys, you think you're going to keep that guy held down to just you? Oh, man, come on. Let me sell you a piece of the moon rock. If you believe that foolishness, it's not going to happen. Again, it's not for I'm not including everybody, because there are some guys that are out there, far and few between, I might add, but there are some out there who will be faithful to their woman, wife, whatever you want to call yourself. But what is it about you that's going to make you think that you're the one that he's going to be with? That's the thing that puzzles me. Because, again, you have to change yourself. And so if you don't have a guy, change yourself. Change your appearance. Maybe you need to change some of the places that you hang out at. And I know some of you are saying, well, I'm going to wait on God to send me a man. Okay, you can do that. It's not to say that God wouldn't send you a man, but do you really believe that some man's going to come knocking on your door saying, honey, God sent me. Let's go get married, have kids, and live happily ever after? It's probably not going to wind up that way. So don't go fooling yourself. I mean, you'd be 55 years old and then you are looking around thinking, well, what happened? Why is it I haven't found a man by now? Well, look at yourself. Look at some of the expectations. I knew this one lady who had written down a list of things she would not accept. That was 10 years ago. She's still by herself today. So what really puzzles me, what gets me, is that some of these women, they'll talk about some of the so-called ghetto girls who live in the ghetto. Maybe they don't make as much money, maybe not as educated as they are, but guess what? Those ladies are not sleeping by themselves. They're not alone at night. The television is not keeping them company. They have a man, and some of them have more than one. So yeah, well, you can sit up and say, well, I'm going to be Miss Goody Two-Shoes. I mean, where has that gotten you? Are you still by yourself? Do you have to still call up your girlfriends and hang out at the movies to get... I mean, is that your girlfriend's your date now? Oh, I'm going to call my girlfriend so we can go da-da-da-da-da. You really believe that's real life? I don't care how much money you have and all that other kind of foolishness. It's foolishness to me. Because we were put on this earth to be together. And as for some of these guys out here that's, dropping babies everywhere, that's uncalled for. Shouldn't be doing that type of thing. I mean, because think about it. If you're out, you're dropping babies everywhere. How are you going to be the father if you have a child in New York and one in California, one in Texas, one in Florida? How are you going to be dad to all those different locations of kids, children? How are you going to be able to do that? Your time is going to be limited. So you're going to depend on the woman to take care of those kids. It's just crazy. If only some of these guys would think before they start fooling around with some of these women. I mean, you have a kid, and the kids are by 4 different women, and they're 1 year apart. And then you feel, well, I'm gonna go by and see this one this day. I'm going by to see. I'm gonna spend Christmas over here. I'm gonna try to get them all together. And man, come on. What if these women start having kids by other men, or they get married? They're not gonna want those kids to be going off on Christmas and holidays and your birthday to come spend time with you. Stop thinking crazy. That's ridiculous. Anyway, I just had to vent a little bit, man. But in a way, I feel sorry for some of these women. I mean, they go off and they make all this money and they have their own houses, have their own cars, but they don't have any children. My dad he made this statement. He said, nobody knows that you've been here unless you leave something behind. And he wasn't talking about no material things. He was talking about children. Well, if that's your legacy, then well, maybe you like what's that girl on TV, Oprah? Maybe you like her, and you're building a school or some schools, and you're investing money in education overseas. Like the kids here that need education, they don't need schools. No, we're gonna do it. See, let me tell you something. People have to be very careful when you go outside these borders and think you're going to be doing something for some other country. You don't know the culture, and you're depending on somebody who does know the culture. And things can go afoul. I mean, they can get messed up real quick. Trust me, because I go there quite often. But anyway, hopefully, some women will see this and say, well, something, maybe he's right. Maybe I should look at myself and maybe not expect so much, because I am getting older. If you're 50 years old, you can't do the same things you were doing at 30. As regardless if you're a man or a woman, I don't care what anybody says. Your body's older. I'm not going to sit up and fool myself and thinking I can, at my age, I'm going to go out there and have somebody that I could when I was 30 years old. It's just crazy. I'm not going to fool myself. I see some of these guys out here, 50, 60, 70 years old, and they got these young women think, yeah, well, okay, use that Viagra if you want to. But it's more to it than just having sex, man. Come on. I'm not going to be fooling myself thinking I can do the same things I could do when I was 30 years old. Stop playing with yourself like that. So, ladies, I wish you well on your search to find that man, that right man for you. Not Mr. Right, but the right man for you. But if you've been waiting for 5 years or more, and you've been doing the same thing to try to get the man, going to the same places, maybe you need to do something different. Have you ever thought about that?